Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. Well, we're going to discuss the antitrust cases against Facebook, and we're going to look at a company I invested in and how, through crowdfunding, and how it's progressed. And we're going to throw in a few other things as well. Anyway, why are they, after Facebook so determined with the monopoly? I'll look at both sides of the story. Well, first side is, it seems to me, they've made a success of Instagram and WhatsApp, and they want to penalise them for it. And they don't seem to want to penalise Amazon or Apple because the government has contracts with them. But with Facebook, they do. Now, the FTC, who are taking a suit along with AGs from different states, the FTC are the ones who green-lighted the acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp, saying there was nothing wrong with it at the time. So why do they suddenly find something wrong with it? Is it a case of they only do not find something wrong with it if the company fails, or if the company makes it a success, then there's something wrong with it? The FTC shouldn't have green-lighted it when they did, or they shouldn't be doing something now. The other side of it, and don't think I'm someone who's a big fan of Facebook and Zuckerberg. There are things with Zuckerberg and Facebook I hate. As a company, I think has amazing balance sheet and growth, but there are things I do not like. Now, one of the things are when it comes up to me and says you're going to be put in Facebook jail because the meme you provided was against their terms and conditions. And I'm thinking, where do you think I got the meme from? From your site. Why aren't you penalising the person I got it from? Nah. The other thing is, people are saying how it's right to go after them. They are a monopoly. They went up to companies and said, you're not going to be able to use Facebook friendly IPs unless we take you over. So, if in that way they were a monopoly. But at the same time, what about Apple and their App Store? Telling people they cannot use the App Store unless they pay 30% royalty to them. And that is a similar thing. And when someone starts a legal challenge, Apple roll over them. Now, I think they have spent a lot of time and money doing all these antitrust hearings at a time when money is tight because of the Rona. I think at the same time people are getting tired of all these antitrust hearings throwing up nothing. So they want to target someone as a bad boy, which is why Facebook and Google have been targeted. Remember, Apple embedded in their updates track and trace automatically. My wife has Apple, I have Android. My wife never accepted the updates after them keep on trying to get her to accept it, and it still illegally updated it without her permission. Android, I didn't accept the updates. It just kept on asking me to update. Now, Google, because Google didn't go about things with the same way with the government. Google, they have an investment in SpaceX. I think they've been undervalued for a while, whereas Apple have a lot of future growth factored in. I do think if Facebook are forced to break up, they will realize a lot of value in companies like Instagram and WhatsApp, because they will start monetizing them a lot more. I think Google will start, if they have to break up, they will start monetizing some of their platforms that are free at the moment. You have to remember, search engines you had to pay for until Google come along. Anyway, let's get on to the next thing. Now, I invested in a crowdfunding company called Kcac Robotics, who have something called Cargo, KAR-Go. They turned down within their first prototype $1 million for the company from a Chinese company. This was about 3-4 years ago. Instead, they wanted to carry on working on it, which I'm glad they did. And I'm going to show you a video of them delivering medicine in London amid coronavirus lockdown. Now, this thing looks good because it's not just the car, it's the software that's the main value of the item. But the guy who founded it, he was in Dragon's Den with his first business, which he ended up selling and putting the money towards this. I've seen it, how it actually works. It can hold quite a few packages and it can deliver them. However, I didn't expect them to see them on the streets of London so quick. This is quite exciting for me, and I obviously don't think it's going to be a competitor for a Workhorse or a rival, but it is good. And who saw Steve Schrader's interview? You know, this is what he looked like when he was asked about UPS contract. Now, a lot of people get the ump about him giving interviews, but they don't get the ump of other CFOs or CEOs giving interviews. And I don't understand why he shouldn't be. I understand they may want him to bring down the costs, but another subscriber sent me this. He said, an old girlfriend he was sending a text to Yeah, a year ago. Wanted him to get her car, so he's offered a Workhorse stock, and this was her response, and now she's lost out now. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, stay safe, stay savvy, stay investing.